everyone, my name is Angela Hockman, your happy and hungry host of In the Kitchen. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by the owner of KNEAD Bakehouse and Provisions, the one, the only, AJ Brown. How's it going, AJ?
It's going really good. Thanks for having us.
Oh my gosh, I am thrilled. Did you know I have a sweet tooth, real quick?
I'm sure.
Okay, it's dangerous for me to be this close to this, so I'm gonna try to really put up a barrier, but I can't. Okay, AJ, what are we making today?
Yeah, so today we're going to specialize in just kind of going simple, as I think. So we're known for our breads and our sourdough.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, through the pandemic and through COVID, everybody kind of got into that frame of mind and wanted to kind of go back to some simple cooking. And sourdough is one of those things. And so it's pretty simple to kind of understand that, you can make sourdough bread. But what we really like to do throughout our entire business as KNEAD Bakehouse and Provisions, where we specialize in sourdough, is put sourdough in everything that we do. So we have some of our cakes over here as well that we have sourdough actually in there as an ingredient. Some of our kolachkis over here that we have sourdough in those as well. And then also our cake donuts that we have sourdough in as well. And so I think one of the things that most people don't understand is sourdough is not just a leavening agent for breads, but it's also an ingredient. And so it actually has this flavor profile to it that you can actually use to make any of your baked goods just taste better in general. So we're gonna do some sourdough shortbread sugar cookies today, which is one of our staples. We started in 2012, and we were able to immediately start doing bread and then also shortbread sugar cookies. And it kind of was this thing whenever I was over in France that I just absolutely loved, kind of going in and buying bread every single day at the bakeries and just having fresh bread at the table.
Yeah.
But one of the bakers that I absolutely loved was this bakery over there called Poulon Bakery, and they specialized in wild fermented sourdough bread, these massive round loaves.
Ooh,
and when you go up and you actually buy at the counter, they just have this open basket, probably not
Pretty dangerous
yeah,
for me.
and you would just pay, and they just let you just take a cookie and you just eat it. And so
Oh my gosh.
when we started back in 2012, I wanted that feel to kind of come back with me to the States. And so we immediately started doing breads, and we immediately started doing sourdough shortbread. And so we're literally gonna make the sourdough shortbread cookies that we sell at the store every single day. It's a very simple recipe, but it's taken a long time to perfect it over time. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my mind is blown because I, probably like many people, thought sourdough was only in a loaf of bread.
Sure.
No idea. I mean, look at this. Is this your lemon hibiscus tea cake?
Yes,
cookie
it is.
with sourdough? And I wore my teacup to
That's
go
awesome.
with my tea cake. No idea. I mean, is that something you learned in culinary school in France, which is its own episode to learn about?
I mean, you don't necessarily learn that, but it's something that just kind of inherently, as you're doing this every single day, I mean, you're using, when you're baking bread, I mean, you're using simple ingredients.
Sure.
And so you just naturally just kind of start to feel that as a chef, using salt and sugar and acid and all those different kinds of things. This is a way of getting that acid component kind of into cookies that enhance flavor overall.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to mixing. You can probably hear my stomach growling,
Love
so
it.
that's your cue. So talk to me a little bit about the sourdough starter.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our sourdough starter here, which we're actually going to mix into it. I have a smaller one right there that's kind of batched out for this recipe.
Is it true this is a 10-year-old starter?
It is a 10-year-old starter, yeah. So we started this right when I got back from culinary school over in France, and we've used Midwestern organic grains since that, and we're still using those same flours at the bakery today, which is really cool. And so it's maintained that flavor profile for that entire time, which is really fun. And so sourdough is literally just a mixture of water and flour. And what you're doing in that process is you're just taking the microorganisms that grow on the flour itself. So lactobacillus yeast, and then Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is also another one. Those two that come together, when you mix the water and the flour together, and then you do that over days, periods of time, it slowly takes this tiny little culture that just is growing naturally, and it creates this live, active culture that you can use. So very similar to the packets of yeast that you're getting at the.
I've only made bread a few times at home, and it was mostly during the pandemic.
Sure.
So I'm like, we're at home, what can I do? Yeah, the little tiny active yeast or nutritional yeast.
Exactly. And so the beautiful thing about a sourdough is it's using a much more natural process where when you're getting the stuff at the store, you're just getting the yeast itself. But the beautiful thing about a sourdough is nature made it so that way the bacteria would grow with it as well. And so that's where the acidic component to it. So they really need to live together and actually digest the bread together and do their metabolism together for you to actually have this really more nutritionally digestible kind of actual bread and product at the end.
I love that you said that they need to live together. Was that
sure.
intended? But no, so let's get going on what's going on here. And let's also, while we're doing this, tell me about a few other of the sweets on the menu. Do you have any favorites?
Okay, absolutely. Definitely have favorites. I'm gonna start here with just a little bit of our organic Midwestern flour, and I'm just gonna put this in the bowl.
Okay.
And we're mixing it today instead of using a food processor or a mixer. I just wanted to be able to kind of go back to the basics. This is
Truly by hand.
By hand, for sure. And this is a great thing that you can do at home if you just want to relax, or if you have small kids, get them involved in this process.
Check and check.
Yeah, exactly. And then what I'm going to do is actually take the sugar and the salt, and that's going to go right in the middle of the bowl. And then make a little well in the middle. And that's a cane sugar and a specific, is it sea salt? Yes, this is sea salt. It's Pacific sea salt and that's actually Atlantic sea salt. We use them both in all of our products. And then this sugar is an organic unrefined sugar. So did you conceptualize this specific recipe? Yeah, I mean, we had tasted shortbread cookies, obviously, you know, when we were doing the ones from Poulon and all those different things, but we've taken a long time to actually perfect this recipe. So it's amazing how much you actually have to get into the process and just dive into the ingredients. What seems super simple is actually very hard. And I can see where, I mean, you studied nutrition and food science. Yes. And so you get it, you speak the scientific language. And I don't know if a lot of bakers do. They do, yeah. That's awesome. And so what I just added in there was a mixture of our sourdough starter that's actually going in there, and then also some of our vanilla extract that we make in-house. Yes. You guys are just, I mean, a true from scratch. From scratch, yeah, completely. That's, when you're only using, you know, we're using, you know, 4 or 5 ingredients in this one, and our bread's only 4 or 5 ingredients. You have to really source the best ingredients for it to actually taste incredible. Absolutely. So this is what's happening behind the scenes at KNEAD Bakehouse. People, I mean, do you use the big mixers? We do actually machine mixers. Yeah, they would take forever. But this is just the fun way of actually doing it at home. Oh my gosh. And so now we've kind of dissolved some of the sugar, the yeast, and the vanilla together, and I'm actually going to use softened butter right now. And this is also special butter. This is a European style French butter. Instead of just kind of the butter that you get at the store, which really just means that it has a higher fat content to it. And there is nothing wrong with that, right? We're gonna call it the healthy fat, whether it is or isn't. Exactly. So you really, AJ, have some global ingredients here, if I do say so. Yeah. I'm gonna let you get to stirring there. We are going to take a super quick break, but when we come back, don't worry, we're gonna have a sourdough cookie to taste. So stick around, we will be right back.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill, Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hey guys, before we get back to baking with AJ from KNEAD Bakehouse, we are going to go on location with STL TV's Taylor Symone Harris. She is out there with Pour Decisions STL. They are a mobile bar that serves both cocktails and mocktails. And if you're wondering what the heck is a mocktail, let's find out.
Thank you, Angela. I'm Taylor Symone Harris, bringing you In the Kitchen on the Road, and I am at the Pour Decisions mobile bar with owners Javia Gilliam Sanford and Cage Sanford, and they are partners in business and in life. How are you guys doing today?
Good, doing really well.
Nice to meet you. Well, I wanted to know, what is the story behind this endeavor?
So in 2020, I lost my job, and I came running downstairs and said, what if we started a mobile cocktail bar? Cage and I have always been super into cocktails and libations, and so we wanted to create a company that created healthy relationships with liquor, and so this is kind of born out of that. So we posted a lot of cocktail recipes, and then we put together, you know, a way for us to bring some of those experiences on the road.
What were some challenges you guys faced during the pandemic opening this business?
I would say the biggest challenge, maybe pandemic or not, is finding licensing. You know, we're not this one brick and mortar space you just know you can go to. So kind of finding that way to make sure we can do what we would like to do in a very efficient and effective way. And again, with the pandemic, it also made it a little bit harder just to get our names out there.
Yeah.
You know, we want to be able to serve the community, but the community can't come outside. You know, so just doing that work around biding our time and just kind of chugging along.
I hear that you guys educate your patrons on libations. Can you tell us more in detail of what you offer and why?
Yeah, so we do a lot of different classes. So we'll do wine classes and whiskey classes, but we also do non-alcoholic beverages. So we work with a lot of our distributors to find what's new out there, what's good, what's healthy, and then we build cocktails around that for people and share those recipes with them. So a lot of our events will send you home with a recipe card that shows you exactly how to make those healthier options, or, you know, sub-alcohol, whatever you want to do. So.
Cool. And also, if you could tell us, what is your bubbly card? Pour Vu, I believe. What is it?
So I'm obsessed with sparkling wine. So Pour Vu was born out of that, and it's just a little bitty cart that Cage built for us out of a vintage tea cart, and so people can rent it. It'll have, you can do a cava package, a prosecco package, champagne package, or you can mix it all up. It's perfect for bridal showers, engagement parties.
A day at the park.
Yeah, a day at the park, a day at the pool. So.
And if you could tell us, what is a mocktail, and what are some of the mocktails and cocktails that you guys provide?
A mocktail is going to be that non-alcoholic option for that alcoholic drink. So most of the times when you hear mocktails, you hear Shirley Temple, which is just Sprite and a little bit of grenadine. We want to kind of take that and elevate that, and you know, be able to provide adults a drink that still makes them feel like they're drinking. They're part of the conversation. They're part of the event without just drinking the soda. We're not big soda drinkers, so that was our workaround. Honestly, when it comes to our mocktails, we can substitute any drink, any cocktail, and make it a mocktail. We can do a mocktail Manhattan, mocktail gin and tonic, mocktail tequila sunrise, like any drink that people love, we can offer that without alcohol, with non-alcoholic option.
And today, for you guys, we're gonna do Amongst the Wildflowers. It's one of our popular summer cocktails that Cage and I created. So that'll have some rose water in it, a little bit of lemonade, some non-alcoholic gin, and then we'll garnish it with fresh flower.
All right, well, I'm excited, and now we're gonna go for the taste test.
Cage is gonna put that together for you. We have some non-alcoholic gin going in first, and then he's gonna top it with some rose water. It gives it that super pretty color, and of course adds that really nice, light, refreshing flavor for the summer. He'll top it off with some organic lemonade. Gotcha. He's then gonna give that a stir just to get some of that rose water syrup mixed up and make a really nice flavor profile throughout the entire drink. And then finally, you did say you liked a little Sprite, so we're gonna add that on top to give you a little bit of sparkle. And it wouldn't be Amongst the Wildflowers without a straw and an edible flower if you choose to eat it. And there you
Thank you. And now for the taste test, guys. This is delicious. You guys have to come and visit them. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for inviting us to your mobile bar. I really appreciate it. If you guys would like to follow them or find out where they'll be next, you guys can go to their website at PourDecisions STL.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram at PourDecisions_STL. Thank you guys again. And back to you in the studio, Angela.
Welcome back to In the Kitchen. I am here alongside AJ Brown, the owner of KNEAD House Bakery and Provisions. Okay, AJ, you're in the zone here. Yes. I see you are kneading this dough. We are making sourdough shortbread cookies, a staple at the restaurant.
Absolutely.
According to the reviews, people go nuts over these.
Yeah, and so we're just finishing this process up. We just mixed the sugar and the vanilla and the sourdough and the butter together, and now I'm literally just getting my hands in there. This is probably the best part if you have little kids, to just like get their hands in there and get them messy.
Looks so fun and very therapeutic too.
For sure.
It's like a stress ball,
and you
but it's dough.
You also can't like overmix this either, which is the beautiful thing. Like,
okay.
And at the restaurant, we whip this like very hard. So all those other cookies were like, oh, you don't want to overmix it.
Sure.
It gets like that. That doesn't work. That doesn't matter here.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that you can make cookies with sourdough.
Yeah.
I was astounded to learn that Pie Guy makes their pizza crust from sourdough. So I'm still trying to understand this. But talk to me about a few of the other dessert items. I keep hearing about these donuts.
Yes. So our donuts, they are our staples. We have our brioche donuts. We also have our cake donuts as well, and that has our sourdough in there as well. So we have, over here we have our sprinkle cake donut, which uses all natural sprinkles in there too. And then we also have our honey rhubarb kolachki. So our kolachkis, we have sweet and savory. This is our special savory one for the month right now.
And I mean, going back to this lemon hibiscus, it's almost too gorgeous to eat. Can they see, there are edible flowers on here.
Edible flowers, yeah.
Not something I have just lying around the house. And I have to ask, do you rotate out your desserts often, or are these staples I can always count on?
There's some, so there's probably half of them that are staples and half of them that are rotating.
Perfect.
Ones that are always tried and true, and then ones that are very focused on kind of the seasonality with fruit that's going in season, or just kind of, you know, the vibe that's going on.
Awesome.
So,
okay.
So this dough is ready, and we're gonna just scoop this. And so I'll let you do that. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna take a little scoop. Yeah, so we just take this, and then you just kind of pop it out in your hand. And we're gonna do 12 of them on a tray.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and do that.
Oh my gosh. Well, KNEAD is hiring, so if I prove myself here, right, can I
Absolutely.
join the KNEAD family?
Yes,
So let's
please.
talk a little bit about what else is shaken. You serve breakfast, you serve lunch. Let's talk catering.
Yeah, catering is something that we've been going hard at. We've been doing this all throughout the pandemic. We did it before, but it's really about still serving people safely now that we're getting back into the corporate realm, but also just making sure that we're getting great products to people. So our catering is kind of KNEAD, you know, just more in kind of a nutshell and smaller kind of the staples that we do.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? You know, say it's the end of a long work day for you. You're like, I just need to sit down, have a cup of Blueprint coffee, and have a bite of fill in the blank.
Yes, there's two that come to mind immediately, and they're always the simplest ones. So our vanilla donut, because our vanilla glaze is like no other glaze. It's the simplest glaze, but because we use our own vanilla extract and we use our own organic kind of sugars in there, it's incredible. And then also the cinnamon roll, which we only do on Saturdays.
Okay,
and
that was on social media.
Yeah, they're like the size of your head.
Yeah.
And so enjoying those after a long week is definitely one of my favorite things, for sure.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, AJ, I did see a picture on your social media of a 3-tiered, gorgeous little cake, and it had vanilla buttercream icing.
Yes.
And I was like, please be on the menu.
Yes.
It is?
Yeah, we have that.
Gosh.
Yeah, so we're doing cakes. We're
today.
slowly starting to incorporate large cakes like that, and so through Easter we did carrot cakes. Through Mother's Day we actually did a bigger version of this one.
Yes, it was so bright and so beautiful.
Yeah, so that's something that we're continuing to do.
Okay.
So last but not least, we're just gonna take some of this sugar and
Okay.
we're just gonna sprinkle it on top.
Okay, just a little.
Yeah, I'm gonna push these down just slightly. And then
Perfect.
the ones that are pushed down, you can just put a little sugar on top. And these are gonna go in the oven. They bake for just about 20 minutes at 375 degrees.
Okay, is this until golden brown situation?
Yes, yeah,
or
and I would say
hard stop?
the more golden, like don't take them out too early, because the darker you get them, the better they are, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, obviously you don't want to burn them, but letting them go darker than you think.
Yes, well, sometimes my smoke alarm also serves as the timer, so I will make sure to keep an eye on that. Is this something that you workshop at home? I know you've got a little one at home. Toddlers, I'm sure, are all over this.
Yeah, they love it. So during the pandemic, we did pizza kits during that time, which we're still doing seasonally right now.
Oh, good, good.
And that was definitely something that we love to do at home as well, and utilize little hands to make sure that happens.
You guys are really thinking of everything. I think you got it all figured out. So AJ, you went to culinary school in France. When you came back to St. Louis, did you think, I am on a mission, I'm going to start this bakery?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I got back from France, started the sourdough within a month, and by that fall, I was selling at the farmers markets in St. Charles County, and it was like just quick.
Was this a dream you had as a small child? Or?
I knew I wanted to be a chef since high school and wanted to make that happen. Went to college and studied nutrition and food science, and thought I was going to get into a different field for a period of time. And so I did fermentation for a while and winemaking for a while, but always had a calling back into the kitchen. And that's when I decided to go to France and then kind of come back and start this dream that I always had, for sure.
I love hearing that people had this idea and to see them actually expediting it and living their dream, which is exactly what you're doing. And it seems like it's not just a bakery. There are many bakeries in St. Louis, but not many that use the sourdough starters, 10-year-old. You serve cookies like this, or people can come in and buy a package. You can simply buy a loaf of bread if that's your thing too. Like you, I mean, we're not so different, because I have a very serious commitment to bread as well.
Love that.
So I would get the brioche and probably make French toast.
Yes, brioche with French toast. The rustic is our flagship loaf, and sandwiches is incredible. But you can do really, I mean, just eating it together at the table. I think getting people, that's what we really want. And that's what, when I said, in the beginning, just going in and buying fresh bread every single day, the part of that that's beautiful is you're going and you're taking that back to a table and you're sharing with people that you love. And through this entire pandemic and through the course of actually opening our brick and mortar in 2017, it's been people that have also come into our story that work for us, and my wife, that have really made this business so much better.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. It takes a village.
And it improves it on a daily basis.
And you made such a great point. There is something to be said for breaking bread together.
Yeah.
There's a sense of community. You actually stop and slow down. You savor, which I would really like to savor one of these.
Yeah,
so I think, is it time?
It's time. Yeah, so we have the sugar that you can just see that got on top.
Oh, it's glistening.
It's glistening, and then it's nice and golden brown. You can see some of them kind of just have, the beautiful thing about these is the pan just allows them to just kind of bake a little bit differently. So
around the holidays, do you change up the sugar color?
No, we don't. We actually.
If you want to use my idea, you're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The one thing that we do that is also in the recipe as well is there's a small section kind of when we kind of get the dough at a specific point. You can add chocolate chips or pecans or any other like fun thing that you want to do. So we have added candy canes and stuff during Christmas as well. Yeah. So
oh my gosh, I'm bringing my baby in.
So.
Okay, well, here we go. We're gonna jump in. You want one too?
Yes, please.
I feel like we should. Cheers.
Right. Cheers. Love it.
What? I feel like I need a moment. I still can't believe there's sourdough in here. I've had many cookies in my life, many. These are unlike any I've ever had.
Yeah, and they're so simple.
They are.
They're just like flake in your mouth. And then also, the nice thing about these is they get better with time. So you make a batch and you leave them in an airtight container. In a month, they actually have gotten better. So
really?
Yeah.
Just to be safe, I would probably just come in and buy yours because I trust yours. I might need to workshop mine for a little while. This is incredible. I have no doubt that everything else on the menu is this exquisite. And I just love everything is so detailed, so intentional, so specific. So you guys run, don't walk. I'm not kidding you. They are over on Hampton Avenue. Give them a call, check out their website. This is the place to go. You can grab a simple breakfast. You can have catering events. I would highly recommend that if you don't feel like cooking for 50 of your closest friends. Definitely check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Warning, if you're hungry, it could be your problem, which is what I did. Of course, yeah, all the info is on the website. Our next episode, we are thrilled to feature Prime 55. We are shaking things up, going from the bakery to an upscale fine dining restaurant. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna finish this and maybe plow into the other ones.
Awesome, love it.
AJ, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
You are busy. Bakers are up early, so I sincerely appreciate it. While you all are on social media, of course, find us on Facebook. We want to know if you find a good restaurant that you'd love to see on the show. Drop us a message. We are at In the Kitchen STL TV. We would love to hear your thoughts. It's been another amazing and delicious show. Thank you so much, AJ Brown of KNEAD Bakehouse. We will see you next time.